So it's 6 o'clock. You either ate already or you're thinking about eating. You either ate or you're thinking about eating. Unless you're a rare individual where you're fasting. You're saying, okay, I'm not eating for 24 hours or something like that. But what happens is when you cut back sugar and you do fasting, you're not hungry anymore. It's like you just don't have any hunger. Especially if you start to take MCT oil. See, that puts you into ketosis faster, and your body starts to eat the fat instead of looking for sugar, for carbs, looking for the carbs. You got to give your body something to eat. So if you take that MCT oil, it's eating the fat. It's all a fractal. I hit on a few things in a few videos about when the internet showed up on the scene. It took you out into the world, but as you go out there, you realize the same stuff's happening out there is happening right here. And so the same stuff's happening out there that's happening right here. So you really don't need to go out there unless you're just trying to start a business. But even then, you could create a business locally and do the same thing if it was a good product or a good service. Long story short, why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because I know there's some people out there that are not whole or they don't have their identity. And trust me, there's people out there that don't know how to live in the now. That's why they always have the music on, the TV on, and be around somebody. They can't be by themselves. They can't meditate. They have to have noise going on. If you have to have noise going on, it's probably an internal issue. Because when you cut the noise off, you've got to entertain yourself. You've got to think for yourself. But if I cut this noise on, I don't have to think for myself. Somebody's thinking for me. And that's what most people don't want to be creators. Because when you start to think for yourself, you actually become a creator. Now, conversations are good, don't get me wrong, to be around people and have conversations, that people who are growing, not people who are set in some little box, stuck in a box. Even if they're stuck in a box, they're willing to see outside their box. A conversation with somebody who's willing to grow, yeah, that's a good thing. But the Bible says, in the multitude of words, sin wanteth not. You can talk to somebody about 5, 10, 15 minutes, and that's enough. Maybe 30 minutes at the most, and you're done, because in the multitude of words, sin wanteth not. There's going to be some things that you disagree with, you might want to fight over, It's best, if it becomes to where it's tension, it's best just to walk away. If there's any kind of tension, just walk away. Let them digest what you said, and you digest what they said. But the reason I'm talking like this, because I know that there's people that think there's something out there. There's something over there. Well, if I go to college, or if I become a movie star, or if I become an actor, or I go in the military, or I go across the same stuff's happening here as over there. And if you stayed put long enough in one place, whether you're in the military, whether you're go into acting, or you go across seas, or if you stay put long enough, wherever you go, you're going to find out you're thinking, I want to be over there. And so it's an internal issue. If you got to run here, run there, run here, and go here, it's because it's an internal issue. You got to learn how to have peace wherever you're at, in the now, peace where you're at and in the now. Because if you're running from God, no matter where you go, God is there. I remember hearing a sermon about that one time, and I thought that was the greatest sermon ever. But now it's just, now it's just, to me, it's just common sense. So a lot of people, they're looking for happiness or joy or something in a place, or changing jobs, or changing spouses, or changing this. You're not going to find it. It's going to be the same stuff, just like the movie stars. You already know what they're thinking. Think about them. You already know. You don't even have to be one. You already know what they're thinking. They worry about their image. They worry about their looks. They're thinking about the next gig. They got to get the best, what do they call them? The people who find jobs for them. They got to get the best agent. They got to have an agent. And they can't say the wrong thing. They got to be careful what they say. And they got to please the masses. They got to smile even when they don't want to smile. You know what they're thinking. It's people pleasing to the nth degree, They're people pleasers. The mass of people, and when they wake up to what they're doing, and they're thinking, I don't want to do this anymore, they're stuck. Because they got a house payment, $1 million house payment, and they're stuck. And they're not really free, so they got to play the game. And they got to play the game, and 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 just keep playing the game. Now, the ones that are smart, once they made $1 million or 10 million or whatever they make, they take that money and start a business. Or invest in something and get some dividends, or learn how to trade options or something. But it's they got to keep up that outward show, It's sad. So no matter where you're at, all you have to do is do a thought experiment. Let's say you want to go to Canada. Do a thought experiment. Do a Google search and look at all the places around it, and do a thought experiment and look at some of the jobs, and you can realize, do you really want to live there? Do you really want to live in that? Do you really want to marry that person? Do a thought experiment and think about it long term. Look at the mom or look at the parent and say, do I want to be married to that when in 20 years, 30 years? Do a thought experiment. All you have to do is do a thought experiment. If you lived in China, you already know what you're going to deal with. All China's thinking about is educating their kids. They got to be the smartest so they can go to school and get the top in the class so they can get a good job. They're just trying to escape the rat race. But if they lived in the now, if you lived in the now, if I live in the now, I don't have to worry about the rat race because I'm in the now. I don't care about the rat race anymore. I used to run from it. I used to hate it. Now, it don't bother me because I'm in the now. No matter where I'm at, I'm in the now. If you can enter into that, you've got something. Now, there's some situations, especially if you're doing rideshare stuff, there's some situations you don't want to be in the now with who's in the car with you. It's like, I can't wait to get out of the now and get into the real now. Because some people bring a bad vibe. And so if you're in a situation where there's a bad vibe and you can't live in the now because of that, set your goals and do it. And then when you get there, be content when you finally get there. Be content with what you have, where you're at, and live in the now. And if somebody around you is messing up your now, get them out of your life. Get away from them. If they can't live in the now, I remember when I was a little bit younger, I remember you were around people who wouldn't let you live in the now. Let's say you're sitting at the house and somebody calls you on the phone and says, what are you doing? Just chilling. Well, let's go here. Let's do this. Let's go do this. Let's go here. Blah, blah, blah. Or your wife says, I don't want to just sit here. I want to go here, do that. Actually, you could still live in the now while you're with them, I guess. But I thought, I don't really want to do anything. I've worked all week. I worked 2 jobs. I want to just relax and take it easy and not think about nothing. But people can't live that way. People have a hard time living that way. And I never just not think about something. I mean, you can plan something before you do it. With the internet now, you could learn, you could become a doctor, you could become a stock investor, you could become anything you want just to learn, just get good at it, you know? Live in the now. Like right now, I'm sitting here thinking, should I go spend some money on a sugar drink? And the answer is no, but I'm gonna go get me a non-sugar drink. Live in the now. I don't have anything to do. I can do what I want to do. But I'm in the now. And what am I doing now? I'm talking about being in the now because there's some people out there that are not content. And it's not their fault a lot of times. They've been brainwashed by the system. They've been brainwashed by their friends and their family and their culture and the expectations that are put on you, just like a legalist will try to put expectations on you to get you back under law. You got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this. And if you sit back and you say, why is this person in my life? They're telling me I got to do something? I don't think so. And if you can overcome that, and you know, once you overcome some of these things, and you don't even, your whole world changes, right? The people around you change everything. But when you think back, you think, why did I put up with it? But there's still people in these things. This is what I'm talking about. There's still people trying to put you under obligations or expectations that they can't even reach. There's legalists and there's Jezebels and there's narcissists trying to put you under some kind of, you're missing out. FOMO, fear of missing out. There's all kinds of, society's doing it, TV's doing it, everybody's, well, you got to lose more weight, or you got to exercise, or you got to go here, or you got to go to the beach, you got to go to the mountains. What? I'm happy where I'm at. What are you talking about? You got to get this kind of car. You got to have this degree. I created my own degree. It's called an etymology degree, breaking the words into parts. Creation code is my degree. When you quit trying to follow everybody else and you follow what God has for you, like I could sit here for 30 minutes and be content. I could actually just sit here and look at this tree and actually be content. Really. Seriously. Actually, I do that I've been doing that for the last 10 years. And you think I'm joking, but I'm not. Look at that bird. That bird is more content than most people. He's just chilling, looking for some seed, waiting for the sun. He's getting ready to go find his nest. The sun go down, and he's done. He's actually looking. He sees that. He's looking for some food. That's what he's looking for. Really, I could sit here for an hour and be content, looking at the bird. Look at that bird. I remember reading that in the Bible even before I got saved. I read it. He said, be content with what you have. Don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow will take care of itself. For today has enough evil in of itself. And I used to think about that. And he says, if you got food and clothing, be content. If you got some income, steady income coming in, you got a little bit of transportation, you got a way to get back and forth to work. Look at that moped. You pretty much got it made. If you got your health, you're rich. The main thing is your health. If you got your health, you better be content. If you have your health right now, you have every reason to be content and in the now. It don't matter what they expect you to do. It doesn't matter what a narcissist or a legalistic preacher or anybody expects you to do. Just enjoy the now. Do what you want to do, as long as it's right before God. Take a chill pill and be in the now.